Hello, my dear children. How are you all doing today? I know that many of you are staying very happily at home and not going to school. And why is it that we all love to stay at home so much? Is it because you get a lot of time to play games and to watch your favorite shows? Did I hear it right? Yes? And what is it that you love to watch in the TV? Is it superheroes? And which are these superheroes? Are they Avengers, Superman, Spider-Man, Incredibles, X-Men, Powerpuff Girls, and so on? Oh, I love them too, my dear children. But did you know that in India also we have got a lot of superheroes? Yes, and I'm pretty sure you would have heard one of the name a lot these days, and the name of that superhero is Rama. And why is it that we are hearing this name so often? It's because they are building Ram Mandir in Ayodhya, isn't it? So today I'm going to tell you a very nice story about the Indian superhero Rama and his journey in life, and it is called Ramayan. But children, this is a very long story and I will not be able to complete this in a single video. So I need you to please go and tell your parents that you would like to continue to watch Ramayan so that they can show you these videos on every day. So come on children, please join me while I tell you this wonderful story of Ramayan. Long, long ago, there lived a king called Dasharatha who ruled the kingdom of Ayodhya. He had three wives, that is Kausalya, Kaikeyi, and Sumitra. King Dasharatha had four sons, Rama, Bharata, Lakshmana, and Shatrughna. Rama was born for Kausalya, Bharata was born for Kaikeyi, Lakshmana and Shatrughna were twin sons born for Sumitra. Though Rama and Lakshmana were not born for the same mother, they were very close to each other and they were like best friends. So all the four children were being taught by their guru Vashishta. Vashishta was not just a saint but also a family priest or pujari for King Dasharatha. He had a very special gift from gods, and the name of this gift is Kamadhenu or Gomata. Kamadhenu is a very special cow that had magical powers. It would grant its owners anything that they wished for, whether it is food or clothes or a new house or new friends or an army or anything that they want. So Vashishta got this Kamadhenu by doing tapasya, which means you're sitting and worshipping for a god and for days and nights without having food and without sleeping in the night, and this worship goes on for years until God gives you what you want. There is a very special story that runs around Kamadhenu, Saint Vashishta and Saint Vishwamitra. Come on children, let us hear this special story. So it is said that Saint Vishwamitra used to be a king earlier with the name of Kaushik. So this King Kaushik once visited the ashram of Vashishta, and during the olden days, and I think even now in India we follow this, that whenever a guest comes to our house, we offer them with food and shelter. We request the guests to have their favorite food in our house, and we also tell them to stay back in our house and then leave the next day. So the same thing happened with Vashishta. So when King Kaushik came with his entire family to his ashram, he offered food and he offered shelter to the entire family and all the soldiers who came. So then King Kaushik got very suspicious about Vashishta, saying that Vashishta is a poor saint, he doesn't have money or wealth. So from where did he get all this food and all the fancy things that he offered us? So after returning back to his kingdom, he sent one of his soldiers to enquire this matter. And the soldier found out that all this happened because Vashishta had a very special cow called Kamadhenu. And then King Kaushik became very greedy and he wanted this Kamadhenu for himself. He said that I am a king and if I have this Kamadhenu, I can grant the wishes of the entire kingdom and this cow belongs to me. So he went and requested Vashishta to give this cow to him, but Vashishta declined. Vashishta says, this is a cow that I have got as a gift from gods through tapasya. This is not something that I can give you. Then King Kaushik got very angry and he said that I am going to fight with you. We are going to have a war if you don't give me Kamadhenu. So Vashishta said, if that is the case, then let the war happen and I am ready to face the war. Then King Kaushik came with a very big army. Vashishta requested or prayed to Kamadhenu, and Kamadhenu gave him an army bigger than King Kaushik. If Kaushik was bringing 100 soldiers, Kamadhenu would give 200 soldiers to Vashishta. Then if King Kaushik was bringing 1000 soldiers, Kamadhenu would give 2000 soldiers to Vashishta. So King Kaushik understood that no matter what he does, he cannot win the war against Vashishta. He thought, what is the point in being a king if I cannot get what I want? So he gave up his kingdom and went to become a saint. He did a lot of tapasya and finally became a powerful saint called Vishwamitra. Till today, children, Vishwamitra is known to be a great saint of ancient India. Once when Vishwamitra was performing yagna, which is worshipping and offering to fire god, demons attacked his ashram and destroyed the yagna. Demons are monsters with magical powers. During the next few days and weeks, these demons, led by a demon called Taraka, kept destroying the worship and prayers of Vishwamitra. Hence Vishwamitra got angry and goes to King Dasharatha to seek help from Rama and Lakshmana to kill the demon Taraka. Rama and Lakshmana were just boys then, but very brave boys and had learnt archery very well. King Dasharatha agrees to help the great saint Vishwamitra and sends Rama and Lakshmana with him. Though Rama and Lakshmana were just boys, they fought bravely with the demon Taraka and killed her. Saint Vishwamitra was very happy and blessed Rama and Lakshmana with special weapons and taught them more archery. When Rama and Lakshmana were with Saint Vishwamitra to protect his yagnas from the demon Taraka, Vishwamitra heard about Swayamvara of Princess Sita organized by her father King Janaka and takes Rama and Lakshmana for his Swayamvara. Swayamvara was a practice in ancient India in which a girl to be married could choose the husband of her choice. Often, this Swayamvara would include a challenge that the suitors should win to be able to compete for the girl's hand. In this case, Sita's Swayamvara included the challenge that only the one who could shoot an arrow from the bow of the god Shiva called Pinaka can marry Sita. Children, this special bow was very powerful and magical. Even the strongest of men could not lift it. Forget about pulling the string to shoot the arrow. The bow was so powerful that the bad guys with bad intentions could not even touch it. But children, do you remember that I had told you Rama was a superhero? He was very strong and pure at heart. He not only lifted the bow, but also broke it while trying to shoot the arrow. After King Janaka came to know that Rama and Lakshmana were sons of King Dasharatha, he was very happy to get Rama married to Sita. Thus Sita chose Rama and married him. During the times of kings, once a prince comes of age, it is his duty to take over the throne of the kingdom and look after his citizens, thus freeing his old father from his duties. Hence King Dasharatha decided to crown his oldest son Rama as the new king. Kaikeyi's mate Manthara was very sad due to this decision. Children, there is a small story that goes around Manthara. Manthara was asked to take care of baby Bharata since he was born. Remember, Bharata's mama was Kaikeyi and Rama's mother was Kausalya. Though Rama was not her own son, Kaikeyi loved him more than her own son Bharata. This made Manthara jealous of Rama. Also, when Rama was a child, he was once playing with a bat and a ball. Suddenly, Manthara threw his ball far away and Rama got angry and hit her knees with the bat. Her knees were injured. Though Rama did not mean to do this, intentionally, Manthara misunderstood that Rama is teasing her for being ugly. Children, in this picture, can you see a woman in green sari? She is Manthara. She had a hunchback, which means a lump on her back, and hence she was bent and could not walk straight. She also had wrinkles and marks on her face that made her look ugly. Thus Manthara wanted to take revenge against Rama and was waiting for an opportunity. After hearing about Rama to be crowned as a king, She badmouths Kaikeyi and tells her that if Rama becomes a king, her own son Bharata will be left alone without any power or wealth or kingdom to rule. Hence she tells Kaikeyi to ask Dasharatha her two boons or wishes he had granted long ago. Kaikeyi listens to her and asks for her two boons to Dasharatha. Her first wish was for sending Rama to Vanavasa for 14 years. Vanavasa means exile. Rama has to leave all his nice clothes, jewelry, power, food and palace and go and stay in a forest like an ordinary person and not like a prince. Her second wish was for Bharata to be crowned as a king. Though Dasharatha's heart is broken and he is very sad, he agrees to grant Kaikeyi's boon. In olden days, it was believed to be a sin or a very bad thing to break a promise. Hence Dasharatha had to agree to this. Rama was a very obedient son and always listened and respected his parents and gurus. Hence he respected his father's wish and agreed to go for 14 years of Vanavasa. Sita, being a very loyal wife, she also agreed to join Rama in Vanavasa. Remember children, I had told you earlier that Lakshmana and Rama were very close to each other and were not just like good brothers but also best friends. Thus Lakshmana also joined Rama and Sita for the Vanavasa. So Rama, Sita and Lakshmana together left all the luxuries and palace behind to head to the forest for Vanavasa.
Children, have you ever cried a lot? Was it because you wanted a toy or something and you did not get it? How did this lot of cry make you? It made you sad, isn't it? And after crying a lot, did you ever wanted to lie on a bed? It made you tired and weak, isn't it? And you never wanted to come out of the bed until you got what you wanted or even talk to anyone. Am I right? Well, this is called depression, my dear children. After Rama, Sita and Lakshmana were sent out of the palace for 14 years of Vanavasa, Rama's father, King Dasharatha, felt very sad and became depressed. He felt sick and was lying on his bed, and he remembered some incident that happened long ago. Once upon a time, before Rama was born, there was a boy whose name was Shravana Kumara. He was very unlucky as both of his parents were blind and could not see anything with their eyes. So, they could not look after Shravana Kumara. Children, can you tell me who looks after you, prepares your food, helps you with the bath and dressing up, etc.? Isn't it your parents or grandparents? But for Shravana Kumara, there was no one to look after him. Instead, he had to look after his parents as they were very old and blind. He used to do all the household work, cook food for them, feed them, take them wherever they wanted to go and also put them to bed. He used to fulfill all of his parents' wishes so that they were very happy all the time. Once, they wished to go on a pilgrimage. Do you know what is pilgrimage, my dear children? Have you ever been to a pilgrimage? Have you heard your grandparents wishing to visit temples far away like Kashi, Kedarnath, Tirupati, Shirdi, etc.? Well, this journey is called pilgrimage. Shravana thought that this will be a very long journey and that will take a few days. And my parents are old and blind. It will be very difficult to make them walk all through the journey. Now children, have you ever seen how blind people walk? Can you walk with your eyes closed? Now can you tell me how did you walk? Did you stretch your hands to feel the things so that you don't hit upon things? Well, blind people do the same thing. They stretch their hands or tap their hand stick or blind stick to feel what is on their way so that they don't hit themselves and fall down. Imagine if Shravana Kumara's parents had to go on a pilgrimage like this for so many days, it would take them ever to reach the temples. So, Shravana Kumara built them a balance like a device using a long stick, 2 baskets and some ropes like you can see in this picture. He made his father sit in one basket and his mother in the other basket and carried them by placing the stick on his shoulders. While going like this, they reached a forest near Kingdom Ayodhya. Shravana Kumara's parents felt very hungry and they wanted to eat food. He rested his parents under a tree and offered them fruits from the forest. They felt thirsty after eating the fruits and asked for water. So Shravana Kumara took a vessel to get them water from a river which was flowing nearby. During this time, King Dasharatha had gone to the same forest for hunting. Children, have you ever seen animal heads stuck to a wood hand hanging in the wall in the museums? This is called exhibiting hunting of animals. In the olden days, it was very common for kings and princes to go for hunting. It was like an entertainment or sports for them, like we watch TV or play games today. During such hunting, kings would kill animals that were troubling the people in their kingdom or take the animal home for a pride. King Dasharatha had a very special talent. He could shoot a bow correctly to the target even without seeing it. But how does he get to know where the target is? He had a very sharp ears and could hear the sound made from a very far distance. So he listens carefully to the sound made, understands in which direction the sound was made, and shoots the arrow in that direction, and it hits the target accurately. So, while he was hunting and hiding near a bush, he heard the sound of water in the river, as if someone was drinking water. He thinks it is a deer that has come to drink water in the river and shoots the arrow in this direction. All of a sudden, King Dasharatha hears a loud cry of pain. The arrow had pierced the chest of Shravana Kumara instead of the deer. Shravana Kumara falls on the ground. Dasharatha comes running immediately to see what had happened. He feels very sad and guilty, seeing a boy fallen down and crying in lot of pain. The boy was covered in soil and blood. The vessel which he had got to fill the water was spilt and lying beside him. Seeing Dasharatha, Shravana Kumara says in trembling voice, "Please do not worry about me. I had come to fetch some water for my thirsty parents. They are blind and sitting below that tree. Could you please give them water to drink and tell them about my death?" Saying so, Shravana Kumara died in front of Dasharatha. Dasharatha was very sad and disturbed. He said to himself, "What a terrible person I am to kill a boy who had come to fetch water for his blind parents." He goes to Shravana Kumara's parents and gives water. Children, what are we taught about strangers at school and home? Yes, you're right, that we should not take anything that the strangers offer, and we should not go out with the strangers, isn't it? Well, Shravana Kumara's parents also did the same thing. They refused water and said, "We cannot drink this water until we know who you are and where our son is." Dasharatha says in a very sad voice, "I am King Dasharatha of Ayodhya. I had come to this forest for hunting. When your son had come to the river to fetch water, I heard the sound and mistook it for a deer drinking water and shot an arrow at it. Your son is dead, and I am very sorry for what happened." Children, what do we do when we lose a toy that we loved a lot? We cry and cry, isn't it? Well, Shravana Kumara's parents had lost their loving son, so they were very sad and cried. They requested the king to take them to the place where Shravana Kumara was lying dead. They touched their loving son and cursed the king. Children, let us imagine someone has hit you or snatched your toys. What do? You cry and say bad things in anger, isn't it? Do you say, "Wait, I will tell my mama and papa and make them scold you so that you become sad"? Well, saying such bad things and wishing bad for people when we are angry is called curse. Shravana Kumara's parents said, "King Dasharatha, you have killed our beloved son who was everything to us. Now there is no one to look after us, and we do not have a purpose to live. A day will come when you will also die alone, knowing that your sons are not with you." Saying this, Shravana Kumara's parents took a dip in the river and died beside their son. Remember, children, this incident about Shravana Kumara had happened even before Rama was born. Now, after sending Rama to Vanavasa, King Dasharatha was very sad and fell sick and was lying on his bed. He remembers that what has happened with Rama was the curse given by Shravana Kumara's parents. He was alone now without Rama and his other sons. In this sorrow, King Dasharatha died too. During the whole time, when Kaikeyi asked Dasharatha for her 2 wishes and Rama was sent to Vanavasa, Rama's other 2 brothers, Bharata and Kshatrugna, were out of the kingdom for some work. When they return to the palace, they get to know that their father had died and that Kaikeyi had asked for her 2 wishes. They also get to know that it was because of Mantara that Rama, Sita and Lakshmana had been sent on 14 years of Vanavasa. Bharata feels very sad and ashamed of his mother. Immediately, he goes to meet Rama. He asks Rama to come back and become the king and rule Ayodhya. But remember, children, I had told you that Rama was a very obedient son and he never went against his parents, isn't it? Rama said that he had promised his father to go on Vanavasa for 14 years and hence cannot return back. Bharata felt very disappointed and asked for Rama's paduke. Children, paduke are wooden slippers which were worn in the olden days. Even today, saints wear the same kind of paduke. Bharata takes these paduke to Ayodhya, places them on the throne and worships it. Bharata rules the kingdom of Ayodhya in the name of Rama and tells his people that he will rule only until Rama finishes his Vanavasa and gets back. After Rama gets back, he will be crowned as the king of Ayodhya. Meanwhile, Rama, Sita and Lakshmana settles in the bank of river Godavari. One day, when Rama, Sita and Lakshmana were walking in the forest, a demon called Shurpanaka saw Rama. Children, can you tell me what is a demon? Yes, demon is a monster with magical powers. This demon Shurpanaka sees Rama. Rama was a very handsome man. She likes Rama a lot and wants to marry him. But children, remember Shurpanaka is a monster? She was very scary to look at. She knew that Rama would get scared if he sees her like this. Hence, she uses her magical powers and turns into a beautiful woman. She goes to Rama and tells him that she wants to marry Rama. But Rama was already married to Sita. And also remember, he was very loyal. Children, do you know what is the meaning of loyal? It means that when you are with someone and they trust you, you never cheat or break their trust. For example, you do not go and say bad things about your friends at their back or leave your friends when they are having a bad time. Since Rama was very loyal to Sita, he tells Shurpanaka that he cannot marry anyone else. He tells her to go to Lakshmana and try to marry him. Shurpanaka sees Lakshmana and finds him also to be handsome. She asks Lakshmana to marry her. But children, Lakshmana was very short-tempered. He used to get angry very quickly for small things. Lakshmana got angry and said he cannot marry Shurpanaka. Shurpanaka also gets angry and disappointed. She went to attack and kill Sita. In anger, Lakshmana cuts the nose of Shurpanaka after he understands that she is a demon. Shurpanaka cries in pain with blood covering all over her face. She then gets angry and wants to take revenge on Rama and Lakshmana for rejecting her. Children, can you tell me what is revenge? Have you ever taken away your friend's toy or your brother's or sister's toy because they took away yours? Did you wanted them to feel sad and cry? Well, this is called revenge, my dear children. Doing bad to someone because they did bad to you is revenge. Revenge is a very bad thing, children, and we should never take revenge on anyone. The demon Shurpanaka was the sister of King Ravana who ruled the kingdom of Lanka. Since she wanted to take revenge on Rama, she went to her brother Ravana and told him what happened. She also told him how beautiful Sita is and that Ravana should bring her to Lanka and marry her. Ravana got very angry and wanted to take revenge on her sister's pain. He decided to kidnap Sita. But Ravana was scared of Rama as Rama was a superhero. He knew that Rama would kill him if he ever touched Sita or kidnapped her. Hence, he sends another demon called Maricha, disguising him as a golden deer. My dear children, have you ever seen a deer? Can you tell me which color is a deer? Yes, it's brown color. But this deer was very special. Do you know why? Because it was golden color. Maricha uses his magical powers and becomes a golden deer and goes near the river Godavari. Sita sees this beautiful golden deer and asks Rama to get it, as she has never seen anything like this before. So Rama goes to hunt the deer. The deer runs and runs far, far away, making Rama follow it. After chasing the golden deer for a long time, Rama shoots an arrow at it. The arrow pierces the deer, and it all of a sudden turns into demon and shouts, "Oh Sita! Oh Lakshmana!" in Rama's voice. Children, what happens when your parents call your name in pain or panic? You get scared and run to them to check if they are okay, isn't it? Since the demon wanted Sita and Lakshmana to get scared, he shouts in Rama's voice so that they get worried that Rama is hurt and come to help Rama. Sita gets very worried that Rama is in danger and asks Lakshmana to go and check for Rama and to bring him back. Lakshmana thinks, if I go to check on Rama, Sita will be all alone here. This is a forest with a lot of wild animals, and there are demons too. Who will protect Sita if they attack her? Thinking this, Lakshmana comes up with a plan. He draws an enchanted magical line around Sita's house and tells her, Sita, this is a magical line. No one can cross this line but me and Rama. Please do not step out and cross this line until I return. You will be safe inside this line. Children, have you ever heard of Lakshman Rekha? Where did you hear it? Is it a white chalk-like thing? Does your mama use it to draw a line near ants so that the ants die if they cross it? Well, children, this name comes from the line drawn by Lakshmana, which is also called as Lakshman Rekha, meaning Lakshmana's line. This is very magical and powerful line and will kill anyone who crosses this line. Ravana was waiting for this opportunity. So as soon as Lakshmana left, Rama turned himself into a sadhu or a saint. He had a saffron bag and came to Sita asking for bhiksha or dhan. Children, bhiksha's literal meaning is begging. We have seen very poor people begging for food, clothes and money, isn't it? But in olden days, the meal or the food sadhu eats had to be given by others as bhiksha or dhan. Sadhu were following this as this reminded them to be simple and humble at heart. Also, in the olden days, when a sadhu comes for bhiksha, it was the dharma or duty of the household to offer food and other things. Thinking this, Sita went inside the house to get some food for sadhu. Ravana tried crossing the Lakshman Rekha, but he could not cross it. Every time he tried crossing the line, there was fire trying to jump on him. Sita comes out and remembers Lakshmana's word that she should not cross the line at any cost. Sita tells to Sadhu to stretch his hand so that she could give him food from far away. Ravana, in the form of Sadhu, gets very angry and humiliates Sita. He says, "How rude are you to offer food from far, as if I am a beggar? I know that you have come to Vanavasa with Rama and Lakshmana. I also know that Rama has gone to hunt a golden deer for you. And Rama is in danger now. If you do not come close and offer the food with respect, I will curse that Rama dies at this moment." Children, Will you be happy if something bad happens to your parents or family or friends? We will become very sad and would never want such bad things to happen to them, isn't it? Similarly, Sita feels very sad and doesn't want anything to happen to Rama. She begs the sadhu not to curse Rama. She finally crosses the Lakshman Rekha feeling very scared. When she tries to offer the food, the sadhu turns himself into Ravana. Seeing Ravana, Sita faints and falls down. Ravana carries Sita and starts heading towards his kingdom, Lanka. Children, have you heard of the saying, "A friend in need is a friend indeed"? We make friends not only because we like them and we want to spend more time with them and to share our things with them. We make friends so that we can go back to them when we have a bad time and ask them for help. A friend who helps you when you need it is your true friend indeed. Rama's father, King Dasharatha, had a very special friend. He was an eagle and a very special bird. His name was Jatayu. When Jatayu sees Ravana kidnapping Sita, he flies to him and fights to help Sita escape. But Ravana was very cruel. He fights with this harmless bird and hurts it by cutting its wings. Jatayu falls down, covered in blood, and cries in pain. While this happens, Rama and Lakshmana were absolutely safe and had understood that there was something wrong. They understand that both of them have been tricked by the demons. Rama and Lakshmana start searching for Sita everywhere in the forest. On their way, they find Jatayu lying on the ground. They see that it has been severely hurt and full of blood. Jatayu tells Rama that Ravana had kidnapped Sita and took her away. Rama tries to hug Jatayu to comfort him. After saying this, Jatayu dies. Rama and Lakshmana feel very sad and gives Jatayu a last hug. While this was happening, Ravana took Sita to Lanka and kept her in a garden. The name of this garden was Ashokavana. He told Sita that she has time for 1 year or 12 months to marry Ravana. Sita was very sad and started waiting for Rama to come and rescue her. Rama and Lakshmana start searching for Sita everywhere. Then they meet a very special monkey whose name was Hanuman. Children, I'm pretty sure you all have heard of this name called Hanuman. He has a monkey-like face and a tail, isn't it? But how many of you knew that he was one of the strongest superheroes of India? Yes, you heard it right. Hanuman is another superhero in our story Ramayana. He is similar to Monkey King in the Chinese movies we see. What are his superpowers, you may ask? But you will have to listen to the entire story to know this. When Rama and Lakshmana were searching for Sita, they met Hanuman. Hanuman tells Rama that he saw someone kidnapping a beautiful woman in the sky. He shows a piece of jewelry that fell down when he saw that. Children, jewelry is an ornament that we wear, like Mama wears earrings, chain around the neck, or finger rings or bangles. Rama recognizes the jewelry and says it belongs to Sita. Hanuman wants to help Rama, but he cannot do it until his monkey king Sugriva agrees to it. Children, you are not allowed to go out or buy anything until your papa and mama gives you permission, isn't it? Just like that, a soldier of a kingdom cannot do anything until his king gives him permission to do so. So Hanuman tells Rama to talk to his king Sugriva, who can help Rama in finding Sita. Rama and Lakshmana agree and meet Sugriva. Sugriva tells Rama that he is also in the forest just like Rama. Sugriva was sent out of his kingdom by his brother Vali. Vali had taken away Sugriva's kingdom and his wife. Children, do you know what is an agreement? Have you asked your papa and mama to buy something for you? And did they ever tell you that they will buy it only if you do your homework or you do your class tests and exams well? This is called an agreement, my dear children. Sugriva also asks Rama for an agreement. Sugriva promises Rama that he will send his army of monkeys to help Rama get Sita back. But in return, Rama will have to kill Vali so that Sugriva can become king again. Rama agrees to Sugriva's request and kills Vali. Sugriva and his wife thank Rama and become king and queen of their kingdom again. Sugriva sends his army of monkeys, also called as Vanara Sena, to help Rama. Hanuman came to the south at the bottom tip of India with the Vanara Sena. He sees a very big ocean. His monkey on Vanara soldiers get worried on seeing the ocean. They did not know how to cross the ocean. Children, do you know how we travel by water these days? Did I hear it right? Did you say by water transportation such as boats and ships? Yes, you are right, children. But did you know we did not have boats and ships in the olden days? That is why the Vanara Sena got worried. But remember, I had told you that Hanuman was a superhero? He grew very big, bigger and bigger until he was taller than the mountains. He could also fly like Superman. So he tells his Vanara Sena to wait there and he flies to Lanka to search for Sita. After Hanuman reaches Lanka, he shrinks small and becomes like before. He starts searching for Sita everywhere. Children, did you notice that Hanuman had never met Sita and hence he did not know how Sita looked like? So he had to be very careful and observe everything closely to identify who is Sita. When he was searching, he sees a beautiful woman sitting under a tree. This woman was very sad and crying. Rama, where are you? Please come and find me. Hanuman understands that she is none other than Sita. But he was very careful. He waits on top of the tree when he sees Ravana coming to Sita. Ravana comes and asks Sita to marry him again. But Sita rejects and tells Ravana that she is already married to Rama and hence she cannot marry Ravana. He gets very angry and leaves Sita to stay in the garden as a prisoner. Sita was guarded by many demons. So Hanuman waits until it becomes night and all the demons sleep. Then Hanuman comes down and tells Sita, Sita, I am Hanuman, Rama's devotee. Rama has sent me to find you. Please come with me so that I can take you back to Rama. Children, what have your parents and teachers told you about strangers? That you should never go out with them, isn't it? Since Sita had never met Hanuman, he becomes stranger to Sita. So Sita tells Hanuman, there are so many demons here with magical powers. How can I trust you and believe you that Rama has sent you? Hanuman smiles and shows Sita a finger ring of Rama that Rama gave him before he left to search Sita. Sita recognizes that the ring belongs to Rama. She becomes very happy and tells Hanuman that she cannot go with him. Sita wants Rama to come and rescue her. So Hanuman agrees and tries to leave while the demons wake up. The demons catch Hanuman and take him to Ravana's palace. Ravana wants to humiliate Hanuman, so he does not offer a seat or a chair for Hanuman to sit. Children, did you know that Hanuman was very naughty like you all? Well, this part of the story used to be my favorite when I was a child like you. When Rama does not give a seat to Hanuman, he smiles and grows his tail very, very long. It grows so long that Hanuman rolls it into a seat taller than Ravana's throne. Hanuman sits on this tall tail seat and greets Ravana. Ravana asks Hanuman, "Who are you and why did you come to my kingdom Lanka?" Hanuman says that he has come to rescue Sita from Ravana and to take her back. He also tells Ravana that Rama had sent him. Ravana gets angry and wants to kill Hanuman, but Hanuman was only a messenger. Children, messenger is a person who brings a message to the king. He can come from a friendly kingdom or enemy kingdom. But it was very bad to kill a messenger in olden days. Ravana remembers that he cannot kill Hanuman and hence asks his soldiers to set fire on Hanuman's tail. Hanuman smiles as he knows this fire cannot harm him. He escapes from the palace and decides to burn Ravana's kingdom, that is Lanka. He sets fire everywhere and goes back to meet Rama. Rama gets very happy to see Hanuman. He welcomes Hanuman with joy. Hanuman tells Rama that he met Sita and she wanted Rama to go there and rescue her. After Hanuman returns to Lanka, Ravana's brother Vibhishana comes to meet Ravana. He tells Ravana, "Ravana, please listen to me. Rama is very powerful and people say that he is reincarnation of Vishnu himself. Please do not fight with him. Please let us release Sita and save our kingdom and people." Ravana gets angry. He says, "People will laugh at me and say that I am a coward. I will not release Sita." He sent Vibhishana out of his kingdom. Vibhishana left Lanka and flew to Rama. He tells Rama that he tried saving Sita from Ravana, but Ravana would not listen. Vibhishana says, "I want to fight for the good cause, Rama. Can I join you in this war against Ravana to get Sita back?" Rama was happy at Vibhishana's thought and agrees to join him. Rama promises Vibhishana that he will be the new king of Lanka. Children, do you remember me telling you that there were no boats or ships in the olden days? And not all of Vanarasena had superpowers like Hanuman to fly across the ocean. So how could all the Vanarasena cross this ocean? Rama prayed to the ocean god for help. The ocean god promised to help Rama and his army by supporting the bridge that can be built to Lanka. Children, can you tell me what happens when you throw a stone into water? Does it sink or float? Yes, it sinks, isn't it? But do you know that there was a miracle that happened when Hanuman and his Vanarasena were building this bridge? They used big trees and rocks to build this bridge. We all know that wood floats in water, isn't it? But should not the rocks sink? But the rocks used to build this bridge was floating. Rama asks Hanuman, "How are these rocks floating?" Hanuman says, "If you can pray to God with full devotion, the God will see to that the rock floats." Rama does not believe it. He prayed to God and threw a rock into the ocean. It immediately sank. Then he looks at Hanuman with surprise and asks him, "How is that your rocks are floating?" Hanuman then shows each of his rock had a writing on it. It said Rama. Children, did you know that Hanuman was a big devotee of Rama himself? Yes, you heard it right. Hanuman used to worship Rama. It is said that every time you worship Hanuman, your prayers reach Rama. And if you keep calling Rama, Hanuman comes to your rescue. Hanuman is where Rama is. So, this is the power of bhakti or devotion, my dear children. Even the God cannot stop you when you pray to him with devotion. Miracles happen. Thus Rama and the Vanarasena cross this bridge and reach Lanka. Then the battle or war starts at Lanka between Rama's army and Ravana's army. Ravana lost a lot of soldiers and gets scared that he might lose the war. So he wakes up his giant brother Kumbhakarna. Children, this is again my favorite part of the story. I'm sure you will like it too. Kumbhakarna was a huge demon. He was very big and tall, taller than a mountain. He used to love eating yummy food. He used to eat a lot of food and sleep for many days without eating anything. He used to sleep as long as 6 months in a year. He used to be in so much of deep sleep that nothing could wake him up, not even the sound of drums or horn or other musical instruments. Can you see in the picture that they are trying to wake him up by making a lot of noise? Well, he did have one weakness. He loved food so much that the mere smell of yummy food could wake him up. So Ravana offers food to Kumbhakarna to wake him up. After Kumbhakarna is awake, Ravana sends him to the war to kill Rama and his soldiers. Kumbhakarna comes to the battlefield and starts killing and eating Vanarasena. Rama gets angry and fights with Kumbhakarna and kills him. Ravana gets even more scared that he will lose the war. So he tells his son Indrajit to go and fight in the war. Indrajit was very strong and powerful with a lot of magical powers. He fought from the clouds so that people could not see him clearly. One of Indrajit's special power was his snake arrow. As soon as he shot the snake arrow at Rama and Lakshmana, a huge snake came and circled them and held them tightly. 1,000 snakes surrounded them. Hanuman then prayed to Garuda, a special eagle bird which was enemy of the snakes. Garuda comes and rescues Rama and Lakshmana. Rama was alright, but Lakshmana was very hurt and was lying on the ground. Then the person who looked after Lakshmana said that only the plant called Sanjeevani can save Lakshmana's life. Sanjeevani was a magical plant which was only found on Sanjeevani Parvata in Himalayas. Hanuman said that he will get this plant soon and flies to Himalayas. But at Himalayas, he sees so many plants that he does not understand which one is Sanjeevani. So he grows so big, bigger than the Himalayas. He lifts the entire Sanjeevani Parvata and flies to Rama. Rama gives the Sanjeevani herb to Lakshmana and the other wounded Vanara soldiers. All of them heal and they wake up. Lakshmana was now stronger than before. He fought with Indrajit bravely and killed him. Now began the great battle between Ravana and Rama. Children, have you noticed that Ravana has more than one head? He had 10 heads in total. But did you know, children, that Ravana was just like us when he was born? He had only one head. Then how did he get 10 heads? Remember that I had told you in my earlier episodes about Yagna and Tapasya? People in the olden days used to do Tapasya and pray to God and get powerful boons from them. Like this, Ravana was doing Tapasya to pray to God Brahma long ago. He prayed and prayed for many years, but Brahma did not appear to Ravana. So Ravana decided to sacrifice his own life. He chopped his head off as a sacrifice. But he did not die. One more head grew back. So he chopped that head too, and another head grew back. After chopping his head for 10 times, God Brahma was very happy and came to see Ravana. He gave the boon to Ravana that he shall have 10 heads. Children, Ravana was known to be very intelligent and smart at his time. He had the intelligence of 10 people. Rama was very good at shooting arrows. Rama went to shoot at the 2 heads of Ravana. Ravana's head fell off, but 2 more heads grew back. Children, have you ever heard of an animal called Hydra? Hydra was a mystical sea animal which had many heads. It could breathe fire from its mouths like dragons. But do you know what made Hydra so scary? It was very difficult to kill it. If you cut one off its head, 2 more heads used to grow back immediately. The more you try to kill it, the more dangerous it becomes. Ravana was just like this Hydra. Thus, during this battle between Rama and Ravana, Rama understands that killing Ravana by cutting his head will not help. For every head of Ravana falls, 1 more will grow back. Then Ravana's brother Vibhishana tells Rama that Ravana's life is in thighs. But Rama does not agree to shoot the arrow to that spot as it was not honorable and a cowardly act. So Hanuman prays to wind god to blow wind while Rama is shooting so that the arrow hits Ravana's thighs. Rama shoots the arrow and it pierces Ravana's thighs and he dies. Thus, children, Rama, Lakshmana and Hanuman won the war against Ravana. Rama makes Vibhishana as the king of Lanka. Rama frees Sita and takes her back to Ayodhya. Rama, Lakshmana, Sita and Hanuman fly to Ayodhya in a flying machine called Pushpaka Vimana. They are welcomed by the people of Ayodhya by lighting thousands of lamps everywhere on a moonless night. Rama gets crowned as the king of Ayodhya and Sita as the queen. Rama rules the kingdom of Ayodhya along with his other brothers Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrugna. Children, this finishes the story of Ramayana. Are you sad that this is the last episode of Ramayana storytelling? Oh, please don't be sad. There are many short stories of Ramayana that I have not told you yet. I will be telling you these stories shortly. Now, before we end this episode, I want to ask you something. Can you look at this picture and tell me which festival this is? Okay, I will give you a clue. We built big idols of Ravana with 10 heads and shoot an arrow lit with fire at Ravana's idol. The idol burns in fire. Did I hear you say Dashara? Yes, you're right. Now, can you tell me which festival is this? We lit a lot of lights and burst crackers. Yes, it is Diwali. Dashara and Diwali are two most important festivals we celebrate in India. These two festivals are celebrated to mark the victory of good over evil. Rama killed Ravana to free Sita during Dashara. That is why we celebrate Dashara. Rama returned to his home at Ayodhya during Diwali, and that is why we celebrate Diwali. Okay then children, we have come to the end of this episode. Did you like today's story? I am sure you have enjoyed listening to the superheroes fight with demons today, isn't it? Children, if you have liked today's episode, please click on like button and subscribe to our channel. Speak to you all soon. Bye bye.